Okay, I guess we're recording. So, holy shit, a lot happened today. It's December 2nd, 2024. It's late in the morning. I gotta go to bed. This is like one of them last beer things. But I wanted to get to this because one, I haven't done this podcast, and when I get away from them, I get like nervous to do them again, and it's like, why? I don't give a fuck. I'm doing this for fun. I get a bitch about shit, so I'm just gonna do that right now. And I got like buttons on this fucking thing I should press, but I don't know how I should do this. I don't fucking care. Let's do this. Talk about the day today. Hunter Biden is officially free. Presidential pardon. I heard something like it was like totally like all crimes from like the moment Joe Biden took office to like up to today. I mean, literally they're like, so it's like, is he still committing crimes today? We just pardoned him? I don't know. It's fucking funny. But turn this down a little bit. Yeah, so yeah, Hunter Biden got pardoned today, and a lot of people are outraged. But that doesn't mean he can't fuck up in the future. And he's like, oh, I'm never gonna do that. But come on. When they're saying shit like, oh, he's like totally clean of drugs and shit. I mean, I don't think so. You know, like the whole that night when they found cocaine in the White House, and yeah, they held the whole Biden family. Well, they all looked all nostrilled up, so it could have been any one of them. But Hunter didn't look like he was fucking sober, and so you know, if he is, good for him. But at the same time, you know, I don't know how broad the pardon is. If it's any and all crimes, which it probably fucking is. That means that motherfucker will get away with Burisma and everything, you know. And I think a lot what he did was, you know, if he's like doing that shit, we're almost at a nuclear war in Ukraine, and it's due to the Bidens. It's due to a lot to the Republicans and Democrats because they're money laundering fucking our taxpayer monies, our fucking taxpayer fucking money through Ukraine. And they're all saying it's going back to the Democrats, but come on, you really think Lindsey Graham and get a little slice of that cheese? I bet you he is. A little bastard. But anyway, so let us review, shall we? Here we go. Joe Biden pardons his son Hunter. He's off the hook for everything. This is Breitbart, of course. Breitbart is very right-leaning, and but you know, at the same time, they're a lot more on ball, a lot more on track, you know, with current news. I mean, you know, go ahead and check the New York Times or CNN. Sometimes they get it right. Breitbart's actually pretty consistent. However, they do have gatekeepers, you know. They're like that. There was one guy, I think it's this Pollock guy. It might be the Pollock guy, or it might be somebody else, but I think it's the Pollock guy. They're like totally for vaccines, and no. It's like, fuck you, you douchebag. So they got some bad guys, you know. But usually you can go to their website, and even if you got the Pollock guy, the articles are still great, you know, and they're still very informative. It's just, you know, when certain country gets attacked or is threatened or something, you know, some fucking writers wants to certainly fucking get involved and either give all our fucking money or go to war with them. So there's a few of those, but they're Pollock. I think it's the Pollock dude. It's either that or it's the Knoll guy. I don't look for that motherfucker's name. Pollock. No. It's not Michael Knowles. I don't think it is, at least. I don't know. I don't want to get through this shit. We're getting too far ahead of our curve here. Joe Biden has pardoned his son. Apparently, he's off the hook for everything. Another hoax. Joe repeatedly promised he would in two systems of justice. Biden crime family peak disgrace. First president to pardon his own child. Joe suggests unfairly prosecuted Hunter the victim. Oh, well, you know what? If you would have, when you could have literally played this card with Trump, you could have literally pardoned the both of them at the same time and went, oh, they're both unfair victims. We got to stop this justice system politicalization. But no, you didn't. Because if Trump would have lost that fucking election, he would have already been sentenced. He would already be in prison. He would have probably fucking been murdered already by the fucking deep state in jail. And he fucking won. He won the fucking presidency. And so now it's like, oh, because trust me, you wouldn't have had to pardon your son. Or, it would have been, you're like, oh, well, you probably would have. We all knew you were going to fucking, Joe, we all knew you were going to pardon your son. And honestly, I can't blame you. It's your fucking kid. I can't blame you. Pardon him. Yeah, I get it. I would do the same thing. Well, I'm pretty sure for a long time my dad thought of me as a fuck up. He probably still does for all I know. Like, yeah, it wasn't like me. And, I have fucking kids one day, fucking hopefully. I'll fucking have a kid and I'm like, man, that guy's a fuck up. But I'm getting on a tangent here. Anyway, off the hook, blah, 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 blah. Let's see here. Watergate prosecutor should pardon himself next. Yes, Joe. And at the same time, you'll be the first president to ever pardon himself as well. Because Richard Nixon didn't pardon himself. So you'll be the first. Everybody was like, is Donald Trump going to pardon himself? Nope, Donald Trump didn't pardon himself. Because you do have presidential immunity for certain acts. However, the Bidens are very, very corrupt fucking people. It's just how it is. I didn't do it. They did it. That's why Obama chose him as his VP. Obama was a corrupt motherfucker. He was all CIA tied. Him and Big Mike. Anyways, Hunter, I will never take the clemency for granted. You better not, motherfucker. You better disappear into the history of things. Like, now that you've been pardoned, leave the country. That would probably be the best thing for you. Never get into American politics. Because, a lot of people like me think you're a fucking traitor to your country. Working with Ukraine, you almost get us involved in World War. You're in chemical factories, energy factories there in Ukraine, getting paid off. Didn't speak a fucking lick of it. All fucking through the CIA. Yeah, we need to look into those ties too. Biden lied about pardoning Hunter for years. Yes, he did. He said, I would never pardon him. He'll win. Lied to ABC News in June, said he ruled out Hunter pardon. By pardoning Hunter, Joe Biden offers up his own influence peddling crimes. I don't know about decades-old jealous scream for former Pete Headset. Oh, for fuck's sake, who gives a shit about this? Patel pick for FBI electrifies America First movement. Hell fucking yes. Kash Patel. I love Kash Patel. We'll get into him in a second, but I want to see how big this article is. I don't want to read it all because I read his statement. I read a statement on pardoning his son, and like I said, I totally get it. It's his fucking son. Who wouldn't pardon their own son, even no matter how bad it looks? Because that kid's been in fucking a lot of trouble. If people really looked at the crimes, and now Trump's getting in there. And he knows the right people to put in there, and they're going to fucking shake the tree in a real bad way. And, yeah, I mean, the only thing that's protecting Hillary, the only thing that's protecting the Clintons, the Bushes, Obama, fucking all the last presidents in my lifetime, because Reagan's dead. Reagan didn't really do much. Iran-Contra, look at Bush Sr. But anyways, so Bush Jr. And all up, Clinton, all those motherfuckers. They've got problems now because everything can be now declassified, which would be fucking great. And it would be fucking hilarious and at the same time very sad for our nation. But you know what? Sometimes you got to rip the Band-Aid off and just see how bad that fucking scab is. Let it get a little sunlight and air before you fucking anoint it. Put a little ointment on it. Not anoint it, but fucking put a little ointment on it. Maybe put a Band-Aid or fucking sew the fucking thing up. If it's been too long, you can't sew it up. But still, you might have to fucking hike miles to where you got to get it sewed up. And by then they're like, it's too late. I've been there, not hiking, but just like hours later, it's like, yeah, it's too late. But so anyways, Joe Biden spent his final days in office ruling out a full and complete pardon for his criminal son, Hunter Biden. I will not pardon him, Joe Biden said. All right, I don't want. After months of claiming he would not do so, President Biden pardons his son Hunter Reagan Reese, and that's the statement. And then so they're not. I'm not reading the actual pardon here. But I've heard that the pardon is like all of his crimes up until now, or whatever crimes he might have committed. And you know what? Unfortunately, in the Constitution, the presidential power of pardoning is absolute. That's what they say. You might be able to argue Biden's, his decline mentally, going, well, he wasn't really fit to be president, so he's not fit to pardon. Get him that way. But at the same time, maybe it'd just be better to let them go. Let the Bidens go. They're still Frank and James, Biden's brothers. They're well into it. There's the whole family. Like one of the grandchildren was like getting money from taxpayer money from the Ukraine and all that kind of shit. There were so many different corporations and overseas corporations set it up where they're trying to launder all the money through, and they caught them. There's like 13 of them or fucking 15 of them or 20 of them, something like that. And they're like, we only see this when it comes to like money laundering and shit. And like some of the counts and the links and the names and shit went to their fucking grandchildren. So it's like, must be good to be a Biden, but there is one grandchild that did not go to. The new one. Anyways, so so Biden fucking did that shit. I can't believe that. But there was another one. So Kash Patel. They were saying, earlier, so Trump has nominated Kash Patel to become the head of the FBI. And he was like the director of national intelligence. He was like one of the guys that like did the whole uncovered the whole Russia hoax. That's what they call it. That's where, Trump was like, getting peed on by hookers and all that kind of stuff. Just total fabrication. Strzok, Lisa Page, all those fuckers. Those fuckers need to go to jail. All their money needs to be fucking taken back. I mean, that's just horrible. I can't believe the fucking government would do that. But just shows you who they really are and the people that are in charge, what they're really about. Seriously. So, he is now the head of the FBI. Well, nominated. And I think Trump would probably use like an appointments clause to get him in because he can do such shit like that. But Ted Cruz was saying that he actually has the votes because he was national security director. He's already been in heavy roles. It's just now he's going to the FBI. But after what the FBI did, he's going in there with a sledgehammer, and I hope so. I don't think the FBI should exist. Not me personally. I think if you're in the FBI, you're gone. Fuck you. And don't blame me, and don't blame the world. Blame your bosses, blame your leadership, and blame yourselves for not speaking up or going to Congress or anything like that. I know a few of you did. But honestly, when you guys become so fucking powerful and you act like nobody can check you, well, then you ought to check yourselves, and be like, hey, sir, this is kind of illegal. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, hey, sir, fuck, we're not going to do it. We're going to fucking spy on these people anyways. I know you were all developing the technology in the first place to just do such a thing. But anyways, let's get to Kash Patel. Kash Patel is a fucking man, dude. It's funny because, like, he's, like, Indian, and you got Vivek that's Indian, and I think Harmeet Dillon's going to be in there. She's an Indian chick. And it's funny. Kamala's like, oh, I'm not Indian, I'm black, when she's been touting to be an Indian the whole time. And now there's a hell of a lot of Indian Americans fucking in Trump's cabinet. I just think it's funny. Fuck you, Kamala. I'm glad you're gone. Don't come back to California. We don't want you as governor. And I hope Homan clears out all of the illegal immigrants in California alone, because that way our state can turn back to red like it's supposed to be. We were the state of Reagan. Reagan just didn't know what he was doing when he had granted all that amnesty. It fucked his own state up. But hopefully we're on that correction course. Let's see here. Cash Patel. How many FBI agents were involved on J6? Patel wants to know. I think he's talking to Tim Pool. And so let's hear what he has to say.
What you need to show is whether or not the FBI and government agents were using undercover operatives and informants on the day of January 6th.
Sound not working?
Because if you can show that.
Don't know what's going on here. Can you hear me?
You know they've been out. Hang on. But the paperwork shows having run informants. That's a 6-month buildup. There it is. Minimum. Right. Minimum. It's not like they just.
Hold on. Let's back that up. Sorry about that. That was me. I had a dial down.
Is whether or not the FBI and government agents were using undercover operatives and informants on the day of January 6th. Because if you can show that, you know they've been out. Hang on. But the paperwork shows having run informants, that's a 6-month buildup. Minimum. Right. Minimum. It's not like they just dropped them into the Proud Boys and said, hey, go, don't disrupt, please. So once you prove that, then you defeat the insurrection narrative with the FBI's own documentation. Forget what the videotape shows.
Just for people who you can't see what's going on in the room, the reason why Cash just said hang on or whatever is because I started smirking and rolling my eyes. And what I meant to convey with that is, come on, we know they were involved.
No, look, I totally agree.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I know definitively. What I'm saying is a reasonable suspicion is that there were agents. There's a video showing a guy with an earpiece pulling people into the building. All right. Mm-hmm. You combine that with the evidence of Ray Epps, and it looks like you have a preponderance of evidence suggesting there may have been federal law enforcement involved in making that thing happen.
I'll get you beyond a reasonable doubt.
All
Two
right.
pieces of information. Ray Epps was on FBI's most wanted list one day, and the next day he was off of the FBI's most wanted list.
Yep.
There are only two ways that happens. You die, or your informant. Put that aside. Under congressional testimony, Jill Sanborn, who I used to work with, the head of the FBI Counterintelligence Division, in charge of all these investigations, testified under oath when Senator Cruz asked her, flat out, were there federal agents involved with January 6th? And she said, quote, Senator, I can't answer that at this time. Not if the answer was definitively no, having been a DOJ FBI guy myself, she would have gone there and said, nope, absolutely not. Mm-hmm. The reason she said I can't answer that is because of the same stonewalling they gave us during Russiagate with Christopher Steele, Halper, and everybody else. It's the same narrative, and I'm telling you they were there.
So you're saying that she said I can't answer that because the answer is yes. Yeah. And that would compromise whatever their operation was.
Exactly. All right. And so I think there's a couple more with Cash down here. This is Homan. This is the guy that's going to be running the border. He is the new border czar. And since apparently it's an appointed position and you don't have to go through Senate confirmation because Kamala Harris didn't, fucking Biden just said, you're the border czar. Well, then Trump now has that power to go, you're the border czar. And this motherfucker he's a big teddy bear. He loves his job. He loves America. He doesn't hate people like fucking people make him out to be, but he's tough on the law because he's seen a lot of death and destruction on the border. Coming from a man that lost, my nephew to fucking fentanyl, I'm fucking right with him. I hope he fucking rains hell. This is Kellyanne Conway, his last, Trump's last chief of staff or something like that. She literally got him elected. She helped get him elected. She's a really hard worker. Now she's a Fox News contributor. But this is Homan. This is the borders are coming in fucking wreck shit. So let's hear what he has to say real quick.
Made very clear that Biden and Harris really were the first administration in a long time who didn't make moves to secure the border. In just the remaining seconds we have, can you tell the audience why that would be? What commander-in-chief, what president and vice president would take steps that don't secure a border? Why?
He was the first president in history of the nation who came in and unsecured a border on purpose, not because of mismanagement, not because of incompetence, by design. They want this open border. They obviously think these millions of people will be future Democratic voters, but also he overturned the Trump census rule, which millions of people in sanctuary cities recounted the next census. And what does that mean? More seats in House for the Dems. But I tell you what, the Trump team coming to town, we're going to take control January 20th, and people are going to be held accountable. We're going to be very transparent. We're going to get behind. What did the United Nations have to do with this open border crisis?
The United Nations.
The Biden administration opened the doors on this humanitarian crisis. What NGOs were involved in this? We're going to be very transparent to American people, and we're going to tell them the truth, what happened on this border. Again, by design, and we're going to let the American people know who was involved, why, and hold them accountable.
And that's beautiful because the UN was involved. There was all types of NGOs, non-government organizations working at the border, running the border, and there were all attachments from the UN. And there's like these fucking evil satanic women just fucking barking at the border patrol, ordering them around and telling them, no, you're going to check these people, and not allowing them to do their job, and just allowing this. And then Mayorkas, a little bald-headed pinhead fucker, he was actually flying to southern South America by the Darien Gap, setting up refugee camps, signing all these people up, and then flying them to try to bypass that gap, flying them into our country on our money. That's treason. He was literally facilitating an invasion of the current guy right now, before Homan gets in, the current guy right now, Mayorkas, is literally committing treason. He literally committed treason. He flew in this invasion. He helped abide it. So these people are fucked. And this guy, Homan, he's like, Gavin Newsom's like, oh, we're not going to deport nobody, and we're going to anti-Trump our state. I live in California. Fuck you, dude. And Homan says, if you it is a federal crime, we will prosecute you. We will fucking put you in jail if you're going to obstruct us. And that applies to governors and mayors too. Well, good. No more Mr. Nice Guy. And, the thing is with you Democrats and you people on the left, you had it your way so long with Obama. Trump got in because you thought Hillary Clinton would get in. But when Trump got in, you went full swing fucking left. You went harder left than anybody. And you guys are already close to there. You guys are pretty much there. But after Obama just radicalized you people. That's how evil Obama was. But when he was out, and he remained in Washington to undermine Trump's presidency, Fauci, all the fucking, the biological warfare, the Russia, I honestly think Obama should be held accountable for what he did. And that's up to Trump on whether or not a past president should be held like that. I think he should go after him immediately and put him in one of the most brutal fucking Guantanamo Bay hellholes and see if he survives. And then after, when Trump's out the door, he pardons Obama. And then he tells everybody, I'm doing this to heal. No, don't ever fucking do this again. And Obama's crime should be laid out to bear. Hopefully, Cash will declassify shit because he's wanted to. He talked to Tim Pool about it, wanting to declassify everything. I want to see if I can. Oh no, I don't. Yeah, there. This guy's melting down on MSNBC. He's like, Cash Patel as director would be if you crossed Alex Jones with J. Edgar Hoover. I only wish, fucker. I think a lot of these people that are coming into the Trump administration, they're ball wreckers. They're a bull in the China shop. Trump was a bull in the China shop, and you guys were able to kick him out. But now Trump's coming back into the China shop with the whole herd of fucking bulls. And everything's going to get wrecked. And you know what? You brought this on yourself. You Republicans, you rhinos, you Secret Service guys that wanted to keep your secrets of the world and not tell anybody about anything and just hide behind government secrecy. If you participated in this, you fucked up. If you didn't participate in this, you saw your own fucking people that you thought was protecting you just wreck everything. And now everybody wants to know everything. You guys classified too much. You guys spent too much. You guys almost got us involved with a nuclear war. We're still on the teeters of nuclear war. When Trump gets in there, I'm pretty sure we won't have nuclear war. But you guys are, you guys have literally fucked up really bad. And it's like, you guys ought to stop. You guys ought to stop. But you know what? I don't think Putin's going to fucking fall for your shit. The guy you call Hitler, we're all waiting for him to respond with nuclear weapons. After what we did would call, if Putin did that to us, if he had Russian-made missiles that can deliver warheads, and he had them stationed in Mexico, and everybody knew it, and then all of a sudden, this motherfucker, the president of Mexico, launches those inland, and they hit San Francisco, they hit Coronado Base, fuck, dude. Do you know the response? What we would do? It would be like, oh, nuclear war. And these fucking people we got in there now, they'd be like, oh, yeah, we got to go nuclear war. Hit the button. Fuck, dude. We just did that to Putin. Putin's like, fucking Trump's going to get in. We're going to work this shit out. And so, and then NATO's like, oh, we're going to fucking pre-attack him. Fuck you people, man. Jesus. Fucked up spot. I want to find some more show. Jack Posobiec's great. He's got this one meme. When someone tells you Kash Patel isn't professional enough to lead the FBI, just show them a picture of the people who currently work there kneeling for Black Lives Matter, which is a fault. It's a fraud. It's actually Black Lesbian Marxist. BLM is Black Lesbian Marxist. The first guy to get fired from the FBI. That's the pipe bomber. If you don't know, 2 pipe bombs were left at the RNC and the DNC with little fake clocks and shit. God, you got to look in that if you don't. I don't want to get into it. I wanted to get into Kash Patel because Kash is great. And with Kash getting in there, all right, I'm going to get out of here. With Kash getting in there, some old people, some old salty dogs are stepping in and saying, hey, Director of the CIA, Christopher Wray, do you hear me now? You've been ignoring me. Now we're in power. You're going to resign. You're going to be fired. You're going to be, you're going to resign. You're going to be fired. Trump's not going to have you. Ray, Kash Patel's taking your job. Preserve your records. Don't leave the country. All that kind of shit. So, I don't know if you know who Clay Higgins is. Let me see here. What can I find him? I gotta let me get rid of this real quick. Clay Higgins. This man is a gem. So Clay Higgins was like a sheriff or a deputy sheriff in Louisiana. And there was like a gang that was like going, fucking haywire and shooting up shit and fucking threatening the cops and everything like that. And Clay Higgins was known for like going on the internet or going on TV and just literally just threatening them back. And I'll show you. Joe Rogan actually talked about him. The guy's a fucking, he is a gem. He's a gem. He is a funny guy, but we would look at it as a funny guy because I like tough guys. He's definitely a tough guy. And the way he handles it's fucking great. It's hilarious. So let me just get in and pull him up here real quick. Here we go.
The Gremlin Street Gang is responsible for hundreds of
who
violent
this guy
crimes,
is.
murders, armed robberies, witness intimidation, burglaries, drug trafficking, extortion, and brutal beatings. We've arrested 10 of these thugs and have warrants on 7 more. Every one of these animals is most definitely armed and dangerous. Darren Carter, Aaron Carter, Travis Cooper, Cody Guidry, Jaron Diggs, Kirkland Demachet, and Jonathan Landry. We have felony warrants for your arrest. You will be hunted. You will be tracked. And if you raise your weapon to a man like me, we'll return fire with superior fire.
Your ass is
Darren
mine.
Carter, you think men like these are afraid of an uneducated, 125-pound punk like you that's never won a fair fight in your life?
Your
and
ass
holds
is
your gun
mine.
Sideways? Young man, I'll meet you on solid ground anytime, anywhere, light or heavy. Makes no difference to me. You won't walk away.
This guy's
Look at
great.
you. Men like
Look at
us,
you.
son, we do dumbbell presses with weights bigger than you. And the convicts in jail, most of those men are good people who just found themselves crossed with the law. They're not evil, and they don't respect you or any punk like you. They'll toss you around like a rag doll. I encourage every citizen watching this to look into your own heart and find the American courage that conquers all evil. I implore you to listen to this message and stand up. Take back your streets. Take back your country. Come forward with information about these heathens that have terrorized your community. And for those who would use this message as a way to create false racial division in our country, take a close look behind me. Standing next to every cop is a leader of our black community. This is not about race. It's about right versus wrong. One last message to the gremlins. You don't like the things I've told you
gremlins.
tonight? I got one thing to say. I'm easy to find.
Easy to find.
On behalf of the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office, the Louisiana State Police, the U.S. Marshals, and every cop and law-abiding citizen from sea to shining sea, I'm Captain Clay Higgins, asking every patriot to stand up, share this video, and send a clear message to the world. We're Americans. We'd rather die on our feet than live on our knees.
That guy is just like, yeah, he's fucking awesome, dude. He's fucking, I think I might have done one already on him, like earlier. I just love Clay Higgins. I know I've showed him to friends. This guy's fucking, he's great. So I want to show you what he had, oh, God damn it, I might have, hold on. Not that one. Oh, I think I did. Hold on, I did totally. I had to open up another thing. I want to go to Revolver. He's way down here, and he posted this thing with about Christopher Wray. Him and Christopher Wray don't like each other. As a matter of fact, he hates Christopher Wray because of the J6 incident. Because when he didn't like what happened in J6. Nobody really does, But he looked into it, and he was, the more he looked, the more pissed off he got. And so if you ever go to revolver.news, great website. I'll find you this. There it is. Shit, looks like shit here. I'll just do this. Can I go to X? Okay, well, it still looks like shit. Hold on. I know what to do. Hold on. I know what to do. Let me move this over here so you can see it. Bam. There we go. That looked good. Yeah. So, here's well. Clay Higgins. Rep Clay Higgins posted on X, Mr. Wray, remain close to D.C. Your presence will be commanded, because you will be subpoenaed, repeatedly. You can hear how he talks, And then in this holiest of seasons, as you box up your mementos of oppression, may visions of thousands of American J6 families you destroyed dance through your head. Merry Christmas. Higgins out. That's great. Oh, shit. So I wanted to... Hey, knock it off. Damn cat. I wanted to... I gotta go back to the scene, though, and fix it. Sorry. There we go. All right, so little prehistory with Higgins and Wray. Here is Clay Higgins talking to Ray about ghost buses that he says he has proof of, and he could, and he wants to do further investigations. A lot of people have been blocking him because it's the Biden administration, but now Trump in charge, Patel in charge, because there were a lot of FBI informants there in the crowd. How many CIA were there? How many MI6? How many Ukrainian operatives? I've heard that there were Ukrainian operatives in that fucking crowd of January 6th that stormed the Capitol. So let's just hear what Clay Higgins has to say to, Christopher Wray.
Director Wray. Last year, you might recall, sir, our exchange regarding the FBI's involvement on January 6th and prior. I'm happy to jog your memory to quote, according to the record, I asked you, did you have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters positioned inside the Capitol on January 6th prior to the doors being opened? You responded, I quote, again, I have to be very careful of what I say. To which I said, it should be a no. Can you not tell the American people no? We did not have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters positioned inside the Capitol on January 6th. A year has passed. We sit here again a year later, we the people, still do not have a definitive answer from you or anyone else in the Biden administration regarding the FBI presence and participation in the months leading up to the November election and in the weeks and days prior to January 6th and on January 6th here in D.C. We can't get a straight answer, although we have a tremendous amount of evidence harvested and reviewed over the course of the last year, which you will see. In September, Stephen D'Artano, formerly in charge of the FBI's field office in Washington, D.C., testified to the House Judiciary Committee that he was aware the FBI informants would attend the Stop the Steal rally thrown on January 6th. You confirmed that the FBI had confidential human sources at the Stop the Steal rally on January 6th here in D.C., sir?
Congressman, as we've discussed before, I'm not going to get into where we have or have not used confidential human sources. But what I can tell you,
lying little
you asked for a
cocksucker.
definitive
We'll move on.
answer.
It's my time. You said no, you're not going to answer. That's cool. We're watching.
Mr. Chairman, may I answer the question?
Your moment will come. This is my time.
Shut up,
Earlier
Ray.
this year, an FBI informant who is reported to have, quote, his quote, under oath, marched to the U.S. Capitol with fellow Proud Boys members on January 6th, close quote. He said he was communicating with his FBI handler while people were entering the U.S. Capitol. Can you confirm that the FBI had that sort of engagement with your own agents embedded into the crowd on January 6th?
If you are asking whether the violence at the Capitol on January 6th was part of some operation orchestrated by FBI sources and/or agents, the answer is emphatically
You're saying
not.
no?
No.
You're saying no?
Not
Okay.
violence orchestrated
Let's
by
move
FBI
on.
sources or agents.
Are you familiar with you know what a ghost vehicle is? Director of the FBI certainly should. You know what a ghost bus is?
A ghost bus?
Ghost bus.
I'm not sure I've used that term before.
Okay. Well, it's pretty common in law enforcement. It's a vehicle that's used for secret purposes. It's painted over. These two buses in the middle here, they were the first to arrive at Union Station on January 6th, 0500. I have all this evidence. I'm showing you a tip of this iceberg.
Mr. Chairman.
These two buses
Mr.
are
Chairman.
painted completely white.
Point of order.
Point of order. Sure.
Just run over the time.
I understand, but you'll recall that Ms. Jackson Lee's been allowed to go 2 minutes before. I've been very fair in letting people finish their questioning throughout my tenure as chairman, and I'll continue
That's
to be
the
fair on
Democrat
that
Party
regard.
going,
But I will make a note to the members, if you could stay as close within your time as possible. We have a lot of people that want to ask these gentlemen questions. So with that, the gentleman yields. But your point, I've been very fair in this, Mr. Ivey, with everybody on this side of the aisle just as much.
I don't think I accuse you of being unfair, Mr. Chairman.
You're making
I'm
it
accusing
work.
you of
Okay,
being a little
thank you.
bitch.
I now recognize Mr.
May I
Wray.
close this statement, Mr.
No,
Chairman?
I think your time is expired, Mr.
I note that other members across the aisle have been granted time, and I object to my question being closed. This is a very significant hearing, Mr. Chairman, and these buses are nefarious in nature and were filled with FBI informants dressed as Trump supporters and deployed onto our Capitol on January 6th. Your day is coming, Mr. Ray.
Your day is coming, Mr. Ray. Yeah. You don't need to do it. We don't need to do that, but yeah. Your day is coming, Mr. Ray. So, I think that's great. These fuckers need to be called out for what they've done. And it's weird. It's like it was all because Hillary Clinton didn't get in. I think if Ted Cruz or somebody got in, it would have been business as usual, and Hillary Clinton would have been sad. But it's the fact that Trump got in. And I think, because Trump was really bombastic, he would just rub your face into shit. But he was really gracious when he won. And I just don't think that evil bitch could fucking stand it. And a lot of these fucking NGOs and shit, and Obama too, Obama's just a fucking joke. But I don't know, it's just really weird how everything went fucking crazy after Trump won. And I was always pissed that Trump wouldn't prosecute these people. Trump was really nice to you Democrats. He was really nice to you black lesbian Marxists because he never went after you guys. And you guys fucking torched America. And he should have. Like when you did the Chaz zone and all that shit in fucking Washington. I would have grabbed your asses up, shot some of you if I had to. But I would have grabbed all your asses up. I would have hauled you off to fucking jail. I would have fucking convicted you. And all of you would be felons and you can't vote. Decrease the voting block on that one side just because they want to fucking act out and be felons. But nope. Trump didn't want to do that. At least his fucking underlings didn't want to do that. And I think that's a reason why a lot of them aren't going to come back. Because you guys were, they treated you guys with fucking kitty gloves. This is a landslide election. It's a resounding no. We are done. Fuck you. When you guys sit there and go, oh my God, Trump's going to be a dictator, that's why I say, I hope so. Because in your mind, because you guys were just huge dictators. So in your mind, okay, he's going to go after you entirely. And he will oppress and fucking kill and jail people like you. You all broke the law. You tried to change our culture. You're fucking sterilizing children. You're raping children. There's 300,000 children that are missing. They're probably mostly dead or sex slaves working in some fucking poor factory. You did this. I'm getting off on the fucking, late. Got to go to bed. It's my last beer. Cash Patel. Great. Fucking yeah. That's what I want. Cash Patel in there. Pam Bondi, hopefully she'll do great. I think she will. She doesn't like the shit that's going on. You guys harassed her, and you guys fucked with her when she was the Attorney General in Florida. And that's the only thing that concerns me is like, will she be pushed over like that? But I don't think so. I think Trump's like, now you are the head, the DHIC, the dickhead in charge of the whole fucking law in the nation. So go after them all. Patel, go after them all. Homan, go after them all. RFK Jr., when it comes to the health and shit like that, yep, go after them all. I'm really liking how this government's winding up. And the old outcoming government that lost in a landslide, they're now trying to start World War III. So just remember that. when you think about how much you hate the Russians and shit like that, and you realize that most of our money has been going to literal Nazis in Ukraine. Ukraine is full of Nazis. You know how many times I gotta fucking say it? Like, oh, I saw this thing with Tim Kennedy, and he was like, oh, you know, I always hate the Russians, and because they're my enemy, my because he fought in Ukraine apparently, and he was like, you know, because I'm always about going after my enemy. My enemy is communism. Well, first off, Russia hasn't been communist in a long time, and second off, Ukraine is full of Nazis. And you literally did a show called Hunting Hitler. Where you were going after looking for Nazis and whether or not Hitler escaped Germany, and you went all the way to Argentina, and you're just blown away by all these Nazis. And you'll tell everybody how much war criminals they were. But there you are in Ukraine. Did you look around? Look at the soldiers around you. Did you see any of the swastika tattoos? Because did you see the flags? Did you see their little patches? That's what you should have been talking about. Oh, I hate communism. You know what? What we're doing in Ukraine is exactly what happened in the Cuban Missile Crisis. There's no T in there. Where the Soviets tried to plant, you know, nuclear missiles off the coast of Cuba to be in range with us, and we came to the brink of nuclear war. So now let's flip the script. What the fuck are we doing in Ukraine? Oh, Russia's a smaller country. No, it's not. Russia's an inferior country. Well, no, as far as the economics of it, but they have like thousands and thousands of nuclear missiles, really advanced ones too. Like really, I know we got shit too. But at the same time, why are we whipping our dicks out over nuclear weapons? It's fucking crazy. So hopefully Trump fixes that. Homan fixes the border. Patel fixes, you know, if you're in the FBI, I don't think you should exist no more. Not. I don't mean like you should die or anything. You should get another job. I think the FBI should be totally abolished. I think you guys have definitely run my trust out. Even if Kash Patel got in there and fucking made it the exemplary fucking thing, there's no way I would ever trust an FBI agent. There's no way I would ever trust a CIA agent. NSA, I don't care if you're in a fucking alphabet agency, there is no way I can trust this government again. It doesn't matter who the president is. You have shown us, you've shown me at least, how bad you can be. And I think your rot is so deep, I think you all need to go. All of you. Turn over your phones. I think there ought to be congressional hearings. I think everything ought to be looked through meticulously. Maybe send it through a fucking AI that can't be manipulated. It just looks for corruption. And then all of you hauled in front of a tribunal. You guys literally, with the Fauci files, you know, fucking all the, you know, the COVID shit. And taking us to the brink of World War III. And fuck NATO. Out. No more NATO. We don't need to pay you anymore. Out. Let's just pull out. Fuck you. You guys can, you and Russia can blow each other up. Leave us alone. UN, get the fuck out of our country. Now that we're going to start investigating you, because we know the UN has been linked to this fucking invasion of migrants from the north and the south, from Canada, not much, but from mainly Mexico. Fuck you people. I would just back out of everything. But anyways, that's just my 2 cents. Last beer for the night. I'm going to bed. Because congratulations, Kash Patel. And if there's people that are going to oppose him, whatever, I hope Trump just fucking shoes him in anyways. Because I want somebody to eat up the fucking bureaucracy. I want somebody to eat up the FBI. Eat it up, turn it against itself, turn it against the fucking system. Because the system is corrupt. Make it seek out corruption. No matter who's on the end. You did that on this side. You literally, actually, you didn't do that on this side. You actually targeted the other side, the Republican side, and you looked for crimes, and you made up crimes. You fucking people are sick, so, yeah. I'm really happy so far with the government, and anybody that goes against them, I hope Trump's just fucking gives them does something like what do they call them, something sessions, not repeat, but absentee sessions or something like that, or I don't know, but basically recess appointments. Yeah, recess appointments. Do something like that. Fuck that. Yeah, get them in. They're there for a good 2 years, and hopefully get most of the corruption out. That they'll get confirmed after the 2 years, and they'll serve the other 2 years. Or you put somebody better in there and you do another recess appointment. Fuck it, I think Obama did the same fucking thing. Obama replaced the whole fucking government, put all these fucking piece of shits in there in the first place. And Trump didn't get rid of them. And that's why we had the problem. That's why to this day we're having the problem. So nope, everything needs to be cleaned out. Okay, it's almost been an hour. I'm going to bed now. Thank you for watching, guys. Y'all have a good night.